So not a parent myself, I am an aunt, but I really can understand how hard the holidays have got to be for, one, grandparents, parents, aunts. Not as stressful. There's way less stress on an aunt to, buy presents for every single kid, every niece, every nephew. But the holiday season is sneaking up on us, and if you're not already thinking about holiday shopping, you're behind. So I'm here to give you one of the best marketplaces to find everything that you need. With Zebit, Zebit, you can shop thousands of products from your favorite brands and pay for them over time. Payment plans. They have everything from Xboxes, TVs, to tools, cookware, furniture, and even gift cards. With Zebit, there's no cost to join, no hidden fees, and no gotchas. They have flexible payment options and an amazing marketplace. Get a head start on your holiday shopping. Sign up to shop on Zebit today at zebit.com/reps. That's ZEBIT.com/reps. One more time, zebit.com/reps.
For those of you with a cat, you got to get yourself some Pretty Litter. It's the coolest thing. It is kitty litter reinvented. Pretty Litter's super light crystals trap odor and release moisture, resulting in dry, low-maintenance litter that doesn't smell. I mean, nobody wants to smell your cat. You just want to look at it, pet it, enjoy it, don't want to smell it. Very cool thing about Pretty Litter is it monitors your cat's health by changing colors when it detects potential underlying issues. It literally pees on it, or poops on it, I guess, and you can see if it has any issues, which is awesome, because otherwise you wouldn't know. You will not find that kind of innovation in any conventional litter. Get the world's smartest litter without leaving home by visiting prettylitter.com and use promo code REPS for 20% off your first order. That's prettylitter.com, promo code REPS for 20% off. prettylitter.com, promo code REPS. And we're rolling.
Before we start.
Yeah. Before we start and.
Yeah, no. I don't know.
As if you said something before that.
I did in my head.
I know.
I had a thought in my head.
I know you did.
What I was going to ask you before we technically have to start. I mean,
aren't we recording?
Yeah, but I just had. Okay, fine. Welcome to another episode of Between the Reps. Welcome to another episode of Between the Reps with Brooke and Gina.
Welcome, guys. We have a guest today.
We do.
Okay, what did you want to ask her?
Okay, wait. I'm going to explain how I found her first.
Okay.
And then I'll ask you what I was going to ask you. Okay. And I hope your answer is, I hope it's what I want it to be.
And if it's not, you're out of here.
We'll just redo it.
Yeah.
Yep. I say, okay, anyways, you guys. So I was looking on Instagram and I follow an account, Santa Cruz Waves. And for a lot of reasons, great photos, keep you up to date with things that are happening in Santa Cruz. And also I did an interview with them a couple years ago.
Well, and you're a surfer now, so and it's the natural next step.
I am a surfer. Yeah. I'm gonna buy a board.
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna buy multiple boards. I envisioned that I wanted to be able to have options for when my family comes out to visit.
Nice,
because like Lake and he's super big into surfing. My dad really likes it. Okay, so two of my sister and my brother-in-law. I was like, okay, two of my whole family.
Everybody's super into it.
No, but I saw this picture, and it was this girl in a swimsuit, and she was on the beach, and just looks like she had just worked out super hard, right? I mean, and they're like, "Oh yeah, a girl in a swimsuit on the beach." I'm like, "Yeah, like
go check it out."
Like most pictures of girls in Santa Cruz. No, but she had just swam across the Monterey Bay,
which is insane.
Like people do that.
I mean, not that you're insane.
Not often.
But yeah, I was going to say.
I mean,
I was going to say, hold this up.
That's a feat. And so I just messaged her, went to her Instagram account, and I messaged her and I was like, I know this is like pretty much the last, I think I said, actually, I'm going to read to you what I said. I was like, straight to the point. I didn't even say, hey, my name's Brooke, nothing. I'm like, this girl doesn't know who I am at all. And I'm just going to, I'm going to shoot my shot here. I said, getting straight to the point, would you be available to be a guest on my podcast this week to discuss your career and what it's like swimming across the Monterey Bay? And she was in. And like, that was pretty much it. Then we just like planned it. Like I did not be like, hey, introduce myself. I didn't like. I'm like,
so rude.
I'm like,
so rude.
I'm like, honestly, so nice of her to be like, yeah, I'll do it. And at the same time, probably be like, who is this?
Yeah, who the hell is this?
Who is this chick? God, everyone has a podcast these days.
Right?
Yeah. But her name is Catherine Breed.
Yep.
That was a question.
Yeah. And I said it as a question because I've only read it one time and I was trying to remember it. And I remembered it.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, Catherine Breed. Now here's my question.
All right.
Do you know who I am? Because I hope you say no.
I didn't when you DM'd me. No.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome.
I love it.
Yeah, that's what I was. That was the answer I was hoping for. Like, no, bitch, I did not know who you were.
Which makes you even more insane.
Yeah. You were like, yeah,
yeah, I'll do it.
I mean,
it took a real quick let's glance on your Instagram.
I'm going to help you. I know you have to be so absurd.
No, it's okay.
No, you just have to be so absurdly close to it.
We never do.
And then I was like, oh yeah, all right. She looks pretty badass.
Yeah.
Let's have a conversation.
That's what I thought. I was like, oh, thank God that I have like.
Good thing we didn't DM her through mine.
Hey, do you want to be on my podcast?
There's this weird lady with a bunch of pictures of her kids. I mean, I guess.
Yeah. So we, as like our listeners, one, I wanted to have you on the podcast. I'm like talking to them and have you on the podcast because I personally really just want to hear about what that was like. Everything about it.
How did you even
training?
Get there? Yeah.
You know, did you swam? You said that you swam. You'll obviously tell us your backstory, but yeah, it's and this one's terrified. Of being in the ocean, like the idea, like same here.
Yes, creatures.
Oh, I was terrified.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I was like sick to my stomach for the first.
Did it
3
make
hours.
it a little bit better having a support boat?
Totally. Yeah. We had the boat and then the paddler next to me, and I had a shark band on, and he had a shark shield on, but.
What's a shark band?
Shark band.
I've heard about those.
It's like a magnetic force, and then the shark shield emits electronic waves that interferes with the shark's navigation system. But
can we get one of those if I go surfing?
Yes.
So here's the catch.
I'll definitely get you a shark band.
Okay.
You read in their like little pamphlet they send you, and they're like, this isn't 100%, you know, and then it's like, great whites do an ambush attack, so this is not going to help you at all with a great white.
Oh,
and that's all there is out there, right? So
yeah.
It's like a placebo, you know.
You're like, well, it would have worked if I wouldn't have read the fine print,
right?
Oh my gosh, I would have never done it. I would be like, never mind. Nope.
Yeah, I was already in the water. Yeah.
Oh, you're like when I realized
take it back, and the boat's like already. You're like, well, I guess I better keep swimming.
Yeah, crazy. So how did you end up going? So you swam in college, or you swam in high school?
Give us
college?
just a backstory.
Everything.
How old are you?
Here's the background. Oh, I'm 27 years old.
Okay.
I was guessing around that age. Yeah.
Yeah. So I started swimming when I was 4 years old. Grew up in Pleasanton, California. I did all the sports as a kid. I mean, we were talking with Neil about I did figure skating as a kid.
Oh wow,
that's awesome!
You guys,
wow.
I'm tall. I shouldn't be on ice skates.
Well, you are tall. I know people probably ask you this all the time.
6'1".
Okay. Yeah, she's 6'1".
She's tall and she was so beautiful.
She's beautiful, but she was in her car, and she got out of her car, and I was like, oh, somebody who's taller than me, like a girl that's taller than me. I love this. I mean, I'm not like crazy tall.
You're tall,
but yeah. And I loved it. I was like, yeah. Look at this supermodel coming out here.
Mm-hmm.
I used to hate being tall, and then in college, all the other swimmers were just as tall as me, and I'm like, wait, no, I want to be the tallest girl.
Right?
So I stood up really straight, and I'm like, I think I grew an inch or something.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, got him.
Yeah.
So anyway,
so grew up swimming, and then when I was 9, I told my mom, I was like, I just want to swim, and she's like, all right, whatever you want to do. So I did year-round swimming with the Pleasanton Seahawks, and then pretty much like career took off when I was around 13 to 15, qualified for Olympic trials, made some U.S. like junior national teams, and then the U.S. national team competed internationally with the like United States swim team. And went to Cal 2011, graduated in 2015. While I was there, I competed at the Pan American Games, won 2 gold medals there, and was on 2 NC2A championship winning teams.
Wow.
So had like a pretty good pool career.
Yeah, I would say so.
Like,
when you started my career took off at 13. I was like, oh wow.
And then from there,
We just thought you swam across the water
gold
every
medals
day.
just started
Guess we should have
pouring
done our
in.
homework.
Dude, there was no homework
Holy
to do.
crap.
That's the best part about
I
this.
know.
I literally messaged you 2 days ago?
Yeah.
And here you are.
Yeah.
You're so wonderful for making this happen.
Yeah,
we were so excited.
No, it's great.
What was your
you just
race?
asked me. Oh,
what was your race?
My race.
What was your distance?
Yeah, I did the 200 free. So I was like a 200 freestyler, 400 freestyler. And then when like Missy Franklin and all the other Olympians on our team got recruited, I started doing more of the distance events and I hated it. Like, I don't want to swim a mile in a pool.
Yeah.
It's so boring.
Yeah.
I've done it one time.
So I missed the like fast, like the 200 free was a great event. But I had multiple injuries in college, like 3 ACL tears, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So career just kind of like went downhill, but I still loved swimming, loved the water. And then I graduated, hung the suit up for a little bit, but still wanted to swim. So my friends introduced me to open water swimming with the Dolphin Club in San Francisco. My first race was Bay Bridge to Aquatic Park. So it's like 3 miles. Okay. And I actually showed up after my 3rd ACL surgery with the full knee brace on, you know, that you have after an ACL surgery and crutches.
And you're like, let's do this.
Yeah.
Everyone's like,
You're like, okay, well, she's definitely coming in last.
Yeah.
And you're like, little do you know.
Yeah. Right. So I think I won. And then
Exactly.
you know, did you win or not? You won.
Oh my God.
I'm like, come on, you don't think you won. You know you won.
And savage.
Yeah, that is savage, dude.
Yeah. So I think people just started noticing. They're like, wait, you're kind of good at this. Like the cold's not affecting you. Because that's a big aspect of open water is the cold. And it didn't bother me at all. And I really enjoyed it. So they're like, you should do the English Channel. And I'm like, no. But, you know, peer pressure ends when you say yes. So they peer pressured me into it. And I did Lake Tahoe, South Shore to North Shore was my first one.
Wow.
Yeah. But I grew up sailing in the Bay also. That's an important thing to note is like, I spent my weekends sailing in the Bay. So the Bay was a very familiar place to me.
Yeah, I was going to say it seems like of all the places you could think of to do an open water swim, you'd go somewhere, I don't know, more tropical or warmer.
Warm? Yeah.
Warmer.
Yeah.
You're picking all like the coldest places.
Yeah.
Because Lake Tahoe is freezing.
Well, it was warm
cold
when I did it.
Oh,
so it was like 70. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's not bad.
If I swim in cold water, I have an excuse to eat a lot and like keep the body fat on.
Oh, right. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I started cycling and I was like, yeah, now I can eat like a cyclist. And then I forgot that
You have to keep cycling.
I got to keep There was just like a period of time where, you know, things were, you know, making it a lot harder for me to like, go out on my bike. And I forgot that I also need to change my diet back.
Right. That
I figured it
happens.
out eventually.
Yeah.
It just took a few months.
Yeah. Well, glad you figured it out.
Yeah, I know you are.
Okay, so then you did the South Lake to North. I know we were gonna cheers for you, but we're just cheers to you for.
I was the one that didn't wait.
I know.
I was listening and it was intense and I was just like, yes, she's like gold medal. And I'm like, and drink to you. And then I showed up in a knee brace and crutches and I fucking won.
I know.
I was like, and I'll drink
No,
again.
it was like, and I think I won. I don't know.
You're like, you did, didn't you?
Yeah, you won.
Yeah, I did.
You won. So then you did that. And this was, so how long ago did you start the open water?
Yeah. So I started training for Tahoe in 2016.
Okay.
And was terrified. Like, I actually was doing CrossFit when I was training for Lake Tahoe. My job, that was like part of one of the perks. So I was doing CrossFit Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at lunch, and then swimming in the morning at night. But Tahoe took place 2017. And I broke that record, the overall record by like 27 minutes or something.
Wow.
What's the distance on that?
21 miles.
21 miles.
Yeah. So I broke 9 hours. It was shocking. Yeah.
But I don't know why. I just got goosebumps. I mean, just like the thought of that. That's insane to me.
Yeah. Tahoe's magical. I mean, I'm a big skier. So I like 6 months of my year skiing and 6 months are swimming. So whenever I go ski up there, I get to see Tahoe. I'm like, oh, you swam across that.
Yeah, I swam across you.
Insane. I swam across you.
Yeah. So no, that was great. And then the next year I did the English Channel.
So you did do the English Channel. How far is that?
21.
Okay.
Yep. And then the following year.
How'd you do in that one?
That one was fine. I so for these open water swims, you get a window. So your pilot's like, here's 4 days. We're going to go anytime in these 4 days that the weather permits. So you fly in a couple days before and you just sit and wait. For the English Channel, my pilot emailed me the day before I was supposed to get on the plane. He's like, hey, your window's going to be blown out. As in I can't swim. Can you go the day you arrive? And I was like, what? Like, you want me to fly to London,
exhausted,
drive to Dover, and then get in the water?
Yeah.
So I was doing the math, and I talked to people I know, and they're like, you've got to go or you're not going to have a chance. So I did the math, and I was like, okay, I should have like 7 or 8 hours to rest. That's fine. I can do that. So I fly over, and sure enough, customs ends up taking like 2 hours. And then we can't get the rental car. And then
you're like, now it's 6 hours. Now it's 5.
Yeah. And then the one road to get there is stopped. So it takes 3 hours instead of like an hour and a half.
Oh my God.
And then we couldn't find our Airbnb. So the time I get to Dover, I have 45 minutes.
No.
So I told my crew, I was like, you guys get your stuff together. I'm going to go on a run because I'm shaking from anxiety right now.
Well, yeah.
So I like
stress of all that too.
So I went on a quick jog, had got my stuff together, threw my suit on, and then swam for 10 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. I was pretty cranky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be Brooke's face.
I wouldn't have made it.
You know, with that said though.
I know. Yeah.
Because,
I mean, good for you for still doing it. Cause I think so many people would have just been like, I mean, after the one thing and then the other thing and then the other thing would just been like, nope, never mind.
Yeah. I mean, after that many bad things happen, you're like, oh God, whatever.
Yeah, screw it. I'll just do it anyway.
I'll just go.
Yeah.
But you know, because I went early, I had booked like a 2-week trip for myself there, including the swim. Because I went on the first day, I ended up having 2 full weeks of vacation.
Oh,
wow.
So
I
bought a flight to Mallorca and spent a week there.
Oh, I've heard that is a wonderful place.
It was great.
Yeah. Love it.
Never been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's very cool. So now would you want to try again?
No, not the English
where you're
Channel.
kind of like been there, done that.
No, I'm pretty content with that one. The next year, so last year I did the North Channel, which is Ireland to Scotland.
Oh, wow.
And that's 52-degree water. And none of this is with a wetsuit.
I was going to say, are there any warm places that they do this?
There are. I just apparently don't want to do that.
Okay. Okay. Just a glutton for punishment.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I did
Honestly,
that one.
I mean, I've wanted to go to Ireland and Scotland. Does that have to
Oh,
do with,
no, it's beautiful.
Does that have to do with like helping you pick where you want to do too? Is like areas you just are super interested in?
So actually to backtrack, have you guys heard of the 7 summits?
No.
So it's climbing like the 7 tallest mountains on every continent.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So they have an equivalent of that called the Ocean 7, and it's like swimming the 7 oceans.
Oh, that's what it says on your Instagram.
Yeah.
And it says 2 of the 7.
Yep.
Okay.
So the North Channel, English Channel, and then there's a bunch of other ones. So I've done English Channel, North Channel, which are probably the hard. North Channel is definitely the hardest because you guys have sea nettles in Monterey, but the North Channel has the Irish Sea is lion's mane. You know, which is anyone Googled those, they're like 3 feet across with 20-foot long tentacles, and it hurts way more than a sea nettle.
Oh, wow.
No, but now I have to look and see what these are.
Yeah. So yeah, lion's mane jellyfish. So that's what's in the Irish Sea. So
they're jellyfish.
They're jellyfish. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I was like imagining
Shark,
some like crazy kelp or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yep,
it's a sea
those
creature.
Those are big.
I want to see the picture. Ooh.
Yeah.
That would be terrifying.
Yeah. So
Did you come into contact with any?
I didn't get stung, but I swam over hundreds of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There's definitely a scene in Finding Nemo where it's with like ones like this, is it not? And they're everywhere and they're trying to like jump on the top of them.
Yeah. I don't know if it's those, but
Yeah, Brooke, the exact same ones.
no, you know, that's what I was thinking in Monterey Bay.
Yeah.
I was like, it's just like Finding Nemo. You just got to like get to the other side.
Right. Oh.
Yeah.
You have a much more positive outlook than I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you did that.
Yep. And then I swam like 2 weeks later around Manhattan. So around in New York, that was a blast.
How far is that?
28 miles, but the current is so strong. You're actually like going 10-minute miles.
Oh, wow.
You know, it's really fast.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. It's warm. That was warm water. And then this year, I didn't really have anything planned for this year. Monterey kind of was an idea in like July, I think. I was like, I don't know. I want a goal. And I was like, oh, Monterey's in my backyard.
Yeah.
Let's go do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how far is that?
Monterey Bay is 25 miles.
Wow.
Yeah. And the temperature is 54 to 58 degrees.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's definitely cold. Why do you think I never go to the beach here?
for many reasons
freezing.
aside from how cold the water is. The biggest reason is probably what you have to walk on from the moment your feet leave the sidewalk.
The sand.
Yes.
Yeah, I hate sand. But
She hates it.
Really?
yeah, people wonder why,
hates
gosh, Gina, I mean, how could she possibly be single? I mean, who wouldn't want to live with me? I'm so positive.
Hey, Gina, try
I'm just
this.
So,
No, I don't want to.
I'm up
It's
for
really
so
good, I
many
promise.
adventures.
I don't like it. What? Come on, let's go to the beach. I hate sand. Hey, do you want to go?
Why are you friends with me?
I went on a date with a guy, and for me, like, I obviously like the beach and the water. So I'm like,
Right.
it's a nice day. Why don't we grab some beers and go sit on the beach? And he's like, okay. So we go there, and I find out when we're on the beach, he's like, yeah, I hate sand.
Was it Daniel?
I know. Yeah. Did you date our friend Daniel?
Persian?
Was he Persian by any chance?
There wasn't a second date.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Okay, so then you thought, okay, Monterey, this is it in July, and so then, I mean, how do you train for something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the nice thing is not the nice thing, but I have a base. I've like now been doing this for a few years. Like I have a base to fall back on. You don't just lose that I swam the North Channel. It doesn't just disappear.
Yeah.
So I knew for me, I'd have to ramp up my training really fast. And right now it's hard because I usually lift. Like I'll be in the gym lifting 2 or 3 times a week with a trainer before these swims, and I had no gym before Monterey.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So
Good old COVID.
yeah. That's great. So that gave me, so I had to swim a lot more. So, I cycle, I trail run. So I stopped the running, I picked up the swimming, and I was like, all right, if I do this many miles a week, I was trying to hit like 25 to 30 miles a week of swimming.
Wow.
And then on top of like cycling, whatever. And so, yeah, I just went for it. I have Catalina. I'm doing Catalina in a few weeks do you know James Lawrence? He's the Iron Cowboy, 50 Ironman distances in 50 states in 50 days.
I'm really bad at knowing stuff like that.
Well, we're doing.
I'm sure he's amazing, but
We're doing a relay in a couple weeks. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So how far is that?
So-
Sorry, I'm just like really
No, it's fine.
specific on the how far is that?
Wait, a relay of
yeah.
Catalina?
Yeah, so it's called the Uberman. So I'm swimming 21 miles. He's biking 400 miles.
Oh,
and
wow.
we have a runner doing 135 miles.
Oh,
And
wow.
people do this solo. Okay, I have the easy part. Like I'm going to be going for 8 hours. That's fine. And then I'm
Right.
going to sit in the van and help them. But
Right.
people do this thing solo, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aliens.
Dude, because like a century, like running 100 miles, like there was a period of time where I was trail running a ton, and I really wanted to do like I can't remember the name of it, but like a trail century.
Mm-hmm.
And I started
100 miles on a trail?
I picked up cycling.
Yeah.
And that's way more doable.
Okay.
Yeah. The most recent conversation about cycling is Zarzi was talking about us riding from here to San Diego.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
And like we would basically take, a couple packs, and we would pick certain spots where we would like stay the night and then get up and ride the rest of the way.
That's
like
so
doing
cool.
stuff like
Actually
that.
sounds fun.
I
Yeah,
want to
which
do that.
I know.
All right, you're in.
Invite me.
You're in. Yeah, you're in. Or like,
Well, Catherine's going to keep up a lot better than I am. So I'll be like,
dude, I'll have to be like,
I'll be tired by like Watsonville.
Tandem. We can tandem.
yeah, that's how we actually make it
I'll just
easier
ride
too.
behind you and like put my arms around you. You'll be like Dumb and Dumber on the moped.
Yeah,
just
we get you a tandem bike.
Yeah.
So that way, one, you get to come.
I'm just
and
not pedaling.
And you barely work, which is fine. And then 2, she has to carry you so I can actually compete with her.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So I'm like the dead weight.
Yep.
On the bike.
that
I can have like a sidecar.
Yeah, that I'll
just like
that I will always
just holding a bag of cement.
get you some goggles.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
The holiday season is sneaking up on us, and I swear it's earlier every year. The time is just flying by. And you guys do not be like me. Do not be a super last minute shopper, especially if you have, lots of people you got to buy for. Get everything you need this holiday season with Zebbit. This place is incredible. Zebbit is a marketplace where you can get everything from Xboxes, TVs, to tools, cookware, furniture, and even gift cards. You can shop thousands of products from your favorite brands and pay for them over time. With Zebit, there's no cost to join, no hidden fees, and no gotchas. I introduced my sister to Zebit because she's got 4 kids. And sometimes as kids get older, their presents they want, they get a lot bigger and more expensive. And it has been extremely helpful for her. It's a lot easier when you have a lot of family members or things you have to pay for. When you have the option of doing a payment plan and paying for everything over time. With Zebit, they have flexible payment options and an amazing marketplace. It's the best place to start your holiday shopping. So get a head start on your holiday shopping. Sign up to shop on Zebit today at zebit.com/reps. That's zebit.com/reps. Zebit.com/reps. This hasn't always been the case for me, but the holiday season is right around the corner and it kind of has me feeling a certain kind of way. And not like the certain kind of way where, there's so much joy and just fun and happiness and so excited to decorate my house and all these things. And I really think it's because my whole family, the holidays for me, it's for your family. And my whole family is in Utah and I'm primarily in California. Anyways, this is something that I've really been talking with my counselor about on BetterHelp. It's nice to just be able to, get some feedback, share your thoughts, and have someone there to just listen to you. Even if you don't really need them to respond, for me, it makes me feel so much better to just be heard and to get things off my chest. And that's why I work with BetterHelp. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches so they make it easy and free to change counselors if needed. It's more affordable than traditional offline counseling and financial aid is available. They have licensed professional counselors who are specialized in depression, stress, anxiety, relationships, sleeping, trauma, anger, family conflicts, LGBT matters, grief, self-esteem. Super affordable. It's professional. And for me, the best part, it's convenient. In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they are recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. You are guaranteed to find someone that fits well with you. We want you to start living a happier life today. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting betterhelp.com/reps. Join over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/reps.
All right. So, sorry, we keep getting off track. So,
that
Catalina.
race, that's in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So I'm hoping my shoulder is okay by then. I've never had shoulder injuries after a swim, and Monterey just kind of
Beats you
wrecked
up.
it. Yeah. So it kind of keeps me awake, but
Where does it hurt at?
It's like right on top. I think it might be like rotator
Oh,
cuff.
I get that
Yeah.
sometimes.
We'll see.
I'm just old.
Yeah.
That's what mine is.
Mine hurt all the time too.
Yeah.
And then I do
hurts, like,
more
right in
and
there.
then I'm like,
Yeah, I know. It's just, I'm like, it hurts, whatever.
I know.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Monterey, when you did that, what was, did you feel like the performance, did it feel different since your training was different, or did it pretty much feel the exact same? Like, did you notice a difference not having done the weight training and only doing more?
I'm kind of wondering if that's why my shoulder hurts, to be honest.
Oh.
Because I don't have that strength, kind of that protects those joints. But I didn't feel as strong. But with that said, I came into the training in really good, I call it land sport shape, because I had been doing a ton of backcountry skiing and trail running. So I was really fit in a very different way. But I was like, that's got to help somehow, right? So I didn't feel as strong. For the North Channel, I was probably like 15 pounds heavier than I am now. Because it's so cold. So not carrying that weight was helpful.
Right.
But no, I mean, I felt okay. I felt really strong in the first 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah. So, and how long did it take you? I don't think we said on.
Yeah.
we
So
asked you earlier.
So it took me 12 hours and 42 minutes. Yep.
What do you think about for 12 hours and 42 minutes?
Straight up.
Yeah.
Like what?
Nothing, honestly. Like
Really?
for some of my swims, I've had some thoughts. I'll go through like lists A through Z, whatever I can think about. For this one, I was trying to do those lists and I just couldn't focus. So I was pretty blank. I was just thinking like about my technique. I was thinking about getting to the next feed because I eat every 30 minutes. I'll have Infinite. It's like a carb mix drink. So it was really just like, get to this next 30 minutes, get to the next 30 minutes. And it was so dark, like
What time did you start?
9 p.m. And it was a foggy night.
You did it at night?
Yeah.
Why?
No wind. So I would rather swim in the night than deal with white caps because swimming against white caps hitting you in the face for 12 hours is brutal.
Well, it sounds bad.
Yeah.
It sounds terrible.
Just
yeah.
So yeah, it was really dark. So I was just trying to like keep myself present. The bioluminescence were incredible. I don't know if you guys have ever seen those in the water, but because it was so dark, it was like glitter all around me. Like my whole body was illuminated, and I had just like, I'd put my hand in and it would just be like glitter.
Wow.
That's so crazy.
It was
so
cool. So I was really grateful to even have that because I could see lights on the boat and that was about it.
That's what I was wondering. How do you know where you're going?
Yeah, I had a paddler with me. So I'd breathe to my side and I'd sight off him, but he got pretty sick, which he doesn't usually. He got sick because he couldn't, there was no horizon for him to look at.
Oh, okay.
And there were swells. So yeah, I don't know. The dark's tough.
So every time you do this, is it kind of with a same team or is it a different team?
It's a different team.
Do you have like a core group that you do this that?
Or
No.
a few people that you
or-
might call if you're going to do something.
There are people that I would call for these swims.
Okay.
They're not always going to be the same people on the boat. Like when I did the North Channel, they have their own crew in Ireland, and I talked with them before and trusted them. English Channel didn't really have anyone on that one because I was like my first event at international swim, so I didn't really know what to do.
Right.
But Ricardo's my paddler. He's my prone paddler, and him and I train together. I mean, I say we're teammates.
That's what I was wondering. So your paddler is somebody that
he's always
that you
there
do
with
it with.
me.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I could text me like, "Hey, like Wednesday morning, let's go 10 miles before work," and he would drive up, and we'd go 10 miles in the bay, like by ourselves, and go train. So
Wow.
it's awesome having him.
Very cool.
I've done prone paddle one time.
Did you like it?
It's hard.
Yeah, it is hard. It's hard on the neck. I've never done it.
Oh, the paddling?
I did it for the CrossFit Games.
It's part of the CrossFit Games?
Oh,
We
that's
did it
right.
in
You guys
2015
did
CrossFit
that
Games.
one.
There's usually always something new they bring in, whether it's a new piece of equipment that's been built or it's like a new sort of sport that no one has any experience with, except for all the Aussies crushed it. So we did prone paddle. We found out the day before. It was the first event. Maybe it was a couple days before. You had a couple of the Aussies that could actually get up on their knees and paddle like this. The rest of us, it was just prone, just paddling.
Where were you paddling?
It was around the Santa Monica Pier. We swam around the pier and then we ran in, got our paddle. We had to run it back out. And I think it
Go
was
around a buoy or something? No?
Huh?
You didn't go around a buoy?
No, when we swam, it was around the pier.
Oh, okay.
So we started up on the beach. We ran down the beach, swam around, ran up, got our paddleboard, and had to run it back out. And then there were buoys marking it. I can't. Eric, do you remember what the distance was? Was it a mile down and a mile back? Yeah, there was more. There was some weightlifting stuff in there too, but the paddle, I want to say, was maybe 2 miles. Maybe it was a mile down and we went around a buoy and then it was a mile paddle back.
Were your shoulders just burning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've been on a prone paddle once just as to test it out. And I went probably a mile total and my shoulders hurt.
Oh yeah.
And I swim. Yeah.
I mean, even if you're on the surfboard,
It's totally
and
different on a
you're
prone
paddling
though.
around the board, right?
Right.
You actually can't just follow like a natural line of your body. You're still
going
pushing,
out.
but you have to be out around the board. 2 miles.
Wow.
500 meter swim, 2 mile paddle,
Oh, wow.
and then come back in. You had to swim back around. So it was a 500 meter swim to finish.
Sounds super easy.
It was gnarly. It was the
Sounds
first. It was the
gnarly.
first thing we did. It was
It's probably
first thing
the
in the
only
morning.
CrossFit event I do good at.
It was the. It was
Crush it.
We showed up in the morning, and we didn't really have anything to do to get our blood pumping.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the hardest moments was, it was going from 0 to 100 into a full sprint. And you all went at once in that event, all the girls. So full sprint to the water to swim 500 meters, and it's down, beach break. Just
Weren't there people pulling on each other and
yeah.
pushing people down?
I'm
And
sure it was worse for the for the dudes.
Yeah. I remember hearing about that.
Open water swimming's like that. Like
Yeah.
not this marathon, but open water swim races get really gnarly at the sub. I actually don't really like open water racing with other people because I'm super competitive. And when
like, I will push.
yeah, I mean, when people
I definitely did one
when
of these.
people
grabbed an ankle, pulled it through. I'm not gonna. That's the first time I've ever told anyone that. I did that. Don't know who it was.
You
Don't
heard it
feel bad
here.
about it.
yeah, I don't know. It just like, it makes
Look at me now.
champagne on my couch.
The CrossFit games are happening this weekend, and I'm here.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And I'm pumped about it. Are you kidding
I
me?
know.
Meeting you is so much better than I even thought it was going to be.
I know, right?
And I already was so excited.
I know. Sorry. So yeah, you were telling us about when you
Open water.
do the open water race.
Oh, I was just saying, it gets scrappy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are just,
Yeah, let's scratch you, pull your legs. This one
Really?
over here. Yeah.
yeah. Even we know
Yeah.
not playing fair over
No,
Dude,
I
if
know.
you're in a competition,
That's the
and-
thing. And I'm like,
and
I
it's
don't
like-
want to get competitive, but I will.
here. Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's
You're
like-
in my way.
And the thing about it too, it's like you're not like going out to like, really get physical. But if people around you are getting physical, I will get physical. And that's what it was.
Oh,
It's like
got it.
everyone's
Yeah.
you're just swimming on top of each other. And it's
Right.
like this is like in that event for me, it's not this like long, like slower pace. You're just trying to like get into your position. It's relatively it's fairly short, especially
Right.
like the swim portion. And you wanted to get out of the water as fast as you could because
Right.
on the paddle, once you were in position, you were kind of stuck in that position.
Right. Oh,
Like
right.
it was very hard to pass
right.
people.
With so many people. Right.
And everyone's kind of moving, at a relative like same pace. Some people better than others just because they had experience on the paddleboard. But other than that, you weren't really going to make up ground on the paddle. So you really wanted to get in good position from the swim.
Right.
How did they get enough paddles for you guys?
They usually work with like different companies that either they buy all of them, like either CrossFit buys all the equipment, and then they do usually with all the equipment that they bring in for the games, they end up selling it at the end of the CrossFit games and like different affiliates. While they kind of come to the games planning on buying some stuff, whether it's wall balls or barbells or a pig or a tires or rings or whatever, and then they load it up and take it away, which is definitely a really great way.
It's a great way, guys.
It's a great
It's a
way
great,
of doing
great
things.
way.
It's a great way of doing things when it costs so much money just to get
Yeah, because there's so many
all
athletes.
of the equipment
Yeah.
from Ohio to wherever the CrossFit games are. Usually was in Madison, or in my case, it was in LA, Carson. And it would just cost so much to have it be broken down and packed back up and shipped all the way to Ohio again.
Right.
So as much as they can sell and get rid of, way better.
Dude, I did a paddleboard relay one time.
Stop.
I swear to you.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not fucking kidding you.
A stand-up? Was it a stand-up?
It was I don't remember. It was remember when that guy Jacoble was coming? Remember the guy that used to train at our house?
Yeah.
So Nico and him wanted to have like this competition. So we did a beach workout.
Okay.
My favorite, And so it was a relay, and you had to run out, and it was like a big paddleboard, and you had to go out to the first buoy at Cowles. You had to go out and around, and then the next person would go out and around. So I'm going out there, and you know me, I'm already scared to death, right? But I'm like, I can do this. So I'm out there, I'm dying.
So you're paddling like this?
Paddling.
So you're just on a surfboard?
I think it was a surfboard.
Okay.
So a longboard.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about, obviously.
So we are taking you
So-
surfing.
No, so I'm paddling. I get around. I can see everybody on the shore, and they're saying something, but they're going like this, and I think they're saying shark. Shark. So I start paddling frantically, and I'm paddling, and all of a sudden I realize I've beached myself. A wave comes up. They were telling me to stand up because I literally was in water that was like 3 feet, 3 feet deep. So this wave comes in and just takes me, like beaches me. I just go rolling off the thing, and I like come running in, and I was like, "Was there a shark?" They were like, "No, we were saying stand up. You're in like knee high to water. Stand up." So yeah, that was the extent. That was the extent of my experience.
You just can't even tell that you're actually, no, you're just like grabbing the sand and pulling yourself forward.
I know. Yeah. So that's it. That's it for me.
Did you, I had a thought.
I'm like looking at you like,
I had a thought and then I answered my own question that I was going to ask
nice.
you.
All right.
My gosh.
never mind.
No, it's just, okay, this is what I wanted to know.
Okay. Cause I was going to say, I have a question.
Oh, I know you do. I haven't had to ask any because you're fucking on it. I'm like, oh, good question.
Well,
Okay, that was a good one. Oh, and because you also
because I
spoke before I even.
I know.
I was like,
I know.
Gina
You
was
just
trying-
explain to the
yeah.
listeners.
well, I was setting things up. I was getting champagne, and I over here, and Gina's over here just getting the scoop, and I'm like, "Are you learning? Are you asking questions without me?"
Because we usually like to both ask at the same time, so that we're learning at the same time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got a leg up on you.
Yeah, and she was.
I did.
Just
I
waiting.
I pre-learned.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I remember when I used to pre-learn. It's a good
I
days.
don't even know if that's a real word.
It is now.
That's funny.
Okay, so rewind to when you are first going to do open water, right? Because you had kind of talked about, like, for Monterey Bay, you hadn't really prepared in the exact same way you normally like to, but you have like a really good base.
Yep.
Totally understand that. But when it's you're getting ready for your first open water swim, and for people that maybe have been thinking about it, but they've never done it, what types of things are your to-do list?
Yeah. So, I mean, if I'm talking about swimming a marathon, it's very different than just getting in the open water. I'd say to gear it towards people getting into open water swimming, the first thing is make sure you can swim,
right.
So,
Right.
like I would say test it out in a pool. And a big part of this swim was raising awareness for diversity in aquatics. And it's making sure people do have that access to the water, that then they have the opportunity to learn how to swim or learn how to surf or scuba dive, whatever it is. So, it's get in the pool, get comfortable with the water. And then if you want to go in the open water, just go for it. I mean, get a group of friends, make sure it's a safe beach, and just set a goal of like 10 minutes. You can do anything for 10 minutes. Set a goal for 10 minutes, get in the water, enjoy it, be present. And I think after that, you really start to crave it. A lot of people swim in wetsuits. I don't. I say, try swimming without
You didn't do your swim across
No.
any of them?
No, I've never. No, I don't wear a wetsuit.
Any of them?
I
No.
feel like that might be just a swimmer thing. So both my sisters are swimmers.
Yeah.
I swam when I was young, but at a certain point, I just wasn't super competitive in that. And they swam for high school, but they swam club. And is that what you're saying?
Yep.
So you did year round. So I grew up like, I learned how to swim from their swim their swim coach was like my swim teacher when I was little. And I grew up going to swim meets and doing all that stuff. And they both moved into doing like triathlons and something like that. And where other people would be wearing wetsuits, like Robin and Lacey never did.
Yeah, so the wetsuit in the triathlon is because it really is an advantage. You swim faster with a wetsuit.
Buoyancy.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
But if you're just doing it for fitness, like, it feels awesome to just get in there without your wetsuit. Like, the cold is shocking at first, but then you start to crave it. The more you do it, like after a week or two of doing it, your body kind of starts to crave the cold.
Well, and if you can keep your body temperature down, you can actually perform better longer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
I
kind
didn't
of,
know that.
they call it like Eric, what's the thing they put in trucks sometimes that if you're like, you're going to a certain speed, it
Regulator?
it naturally will like slow you down, like it puts a top speed on your vehicle. No, it's like what's it start with the G? A governor?
No. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Anyways, I remember with like running, and learning about how when your body gets to a certain temperature, it's almost like a natural cap that your body actually will hold you back. So if you're really, really hot, you will naturally slow down, even though you might not. Like if you can like run cold or keep your body temperature down. It's like running earlier in the morning instead of like, southern Utah in the summer.
Right.
Like I could go out for a run and it's so freaking hot outside. If your temperature is like rising, you just are going to be more fatigued, more tired. Your body's going to naturally slow down. Things
got
are going to like, so if you can keep your temperature down, whether you like would choose to exercise in the morning or
So you're
at
saying
night.
the lower the temperature.
Yeah. So if you're going for that long of a distance,
Right.
I think,
and
I wonder if though, like whether it's that long and that cold, if it's the same effect as it being too hot.
ooh, I don't know.
That's what I was wondering.
Because when I'm swimming,
Yeah.
like my hands are cramped, my feet are cramped. Like I'll come out and like my hand is like a claw. Like,
Oh.
because it's frozen, right?
Yeah.
Because my
Yeah.
blood's not going to my fingers. My blood's
Yeah.
trying to keep my core and my brain warm. So my hands will be like this. And, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's curious. I think there probably is an optimal temperature. Like 60, 65, I feel great. 50, it dropped to 54 in the bay. And
Yeah, I was gonna
that's
say-
cold.
That is
really
really
that's
cold.
cold. Yeah.
So what you do is you start out. Where'd you start at? In Santa Cruz. Did you start in Santa Cruz or
in
Monterey?
Monterey.
So I started in Santa Cruz. So, Seabright,
Uh-huh.
right by the lighthouse.
Okay.
Yeah. I got pummeled by a wave getting into the water.
Oh no, that's a great start.
You're like, great.
But then
Yeah.
I heard dolphins within
Oh, cool.
yeah, I think they were like the harbor porpoises. Within like a minute, I could hear them underwater.
Yeah.
They're echoing, whatever it's called.
Oh, that's cool.
So I could hear them. I was like, all right, this is going to be good.
yeah.
And then I always just power through the first 4 hours. I'm like, keep my head down, don't talk, just get through these first 4 hours.
But you're stopping every 30 minutes
Yep.
to eat.
But
So
it's like 15 seconds.
So
I
you
mean,
just-
they're
you
tossing me
hand
a
it-
water bottle and I'm drinking
Got it.
what's in it and I keep
Okay.
going. So yeah, I got to 4 hours and I felt great. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going fast. Like I feel good. The water's warm. And then not but an hour later, I got over the canyon. So Monterey Bay has like a mile deep canyon right in the middle of it.
I've heard about this. That sounds
And
terrifying.
it was cold and I got hit by like a cross head current. So my speed dropped and I was pissed when I found out my speed dropped. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Because I was swimming the same speed, but just going slower.
Right.
And it's, you can't beat the ocean.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, just kind of managing that.
Well, and you encountered some creatures.
Yeah. So lots of jellyfish through
Yes,
the middle
can I
of the
see
night.
your arm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
her
it looks
arms
way-
it looks like a cat scratched you
Yeah,
up.
yeah. It looks way better. But the middle of the night, they were hitting me in my face because I couldn't see them. So they're just in my face. It's not the worst pain in the world. It feels like a scratch. It kind of burns a little bit and goes away in a couple minutes.
Oh, okay. So no
it's
one was
not-
urinating on you?
No, not in the middle of the swim. Like, oh, let's take a break.
I would have done it for you.
Some guy just off the back of the boat. Just here you
I've
go.
got you. Put your arm up. Yeah, and I saw actually, I don't know if you know what a mola is. They're
No.
like a huge sunfish. And they can be like 5 feet across. And they're these gray diamond shaped fish.
Mola.
Yep. And
Kind of like a bat ray or a sting. Oh, no. Oh, a fish.
Yeah,
So
they're a
it's-
fish. So
yeah.
they're
Oh,
yeah.
Let me see it.
Yep. So they just kind of like hang out there.
dude.
Yep. They're
What?
huge. They're huge.
Let me see it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So I swam over one of those. And when it's the middle of the night and I just see something gray under me,
Yeah.
I was like, oh God, that's a great white. That has to be a great white. So I look at my paddle.
And when they're that big.
yeah. And
Was
I
it
couldn't
that big?
He was big, but I couldn't see it because it was just a gray
Right.
shape. And I'm like, Ricardo, there's something underneath me. And he didn't even acknowledge it. I was like, all right.
no, but really?
Guess.
Oh, really?
Dude, look at these fins.
Yeah.
Look at those fins.
Oh,
So yeah, it's pretty
Dude.
startling. Yeah, so I encountered one of those, and then at the end, the last 2 hours, thousands of jellyfish. I mean, every stroke I took, I was counting 10 below me, and if I'm taking 60 strokes a minute, that's 600
Oh, my
jellyfish
gosh.
an hour.
yeah.
For 2 hours. So that was a lot.
And
so
when you say you're swimming through them?
So they were below me, like
Yeah.
maybe a foot or two. So I was looking at it all, and I'm like, oh my God, like dodging mines. But there were a few
Because you
up.
could kind of see them because of the.
It was clear now. So it was morning
Oh, okay.
time. It was more clear. And that's when I really got cut up though, because I'd put my arm in and it would just like, I'd be pulling the tentacles of a jellyfish. But I'm so close to the finish, like I don't
Right.
care. It got to
Yeah.
a point, honestly, where the pain in my hip flexors cramped, my forearms cramped up, my shoulder was hurting. I'm tired. I was like, give me the jellyfish. You know, like I can
You're like, honestly, let me focus on a
distraction.
different pain.
Exactly.
Like, give me something
Yeah.
different that might actually take my mind off of the ache or the throbbing or the pain.
Like I can manage the jellyfish pain. So
Wow.
yeah, but only 55 stings.
That's
I think
it.
that's pretty good
To
for
be honest, that's gotta be
thousands of jellyfish.
That's pretty good.
Right.
Yeah.
For that many.
I'll take it.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
My son got the cutest little kitten, which makes his second cat. They're adorable, but as we know, cats gotta poop, and it can be pretty stinky. So I got him some Pretty Litter. It's a cat litter, and it's literally been reinvented. It's unlike traditional litter. Pretty Litter's super light crystals trap odor and release moisture, resulting in dry, low maintenance litter that doesn't smell. Thank God. And Pretty Litter is virtually dust-free because it's manufactured with a specialized dedusting process. Less dust means no fuss. Pretty Litter arrives safely at your door in a small, lightweight bag that lasts up to a month. But above all else, here's why Pretty Litter is a pet person's hero. It's a health indicator. This is so cool, you guys. Pretty Litter monitors your cat's health by changing colors when it detects potential underlying issues. You won't find that kind of innovation in any conventional litter. Get the world's smartest litter without leaving home by visiting prettylitter.com and use promo code REPS for 20% off your first order. That's prettylitter.com, promo code REPS for 20% off. prettylitter.com, promo code REPS. By now, you've probably heard us talk about Prose, the world's most personalized hair care. Well, we wanted to share a few updates since using the custom formulas Prose sent us. Spoiler alert! It's the real deal, guys. My hair is so much shinier and more manageable since I started using this. And I'm not kidding. I know everybody says that, oh, it's so much better, but it really is. Other people actually noticed it. Prose knows there is more to you than just your hair type. Prose has given over 1 million consultations with their in-depth hair quiz, which is how we got started. I thought that this quiz was so cool because it asks you questions that you don't even think about that's going to affect your hair. I mean, it asks about if you exercise indoors or outdoors. It asks you what your zip code is so it can tell what your environment is and how that's affecting your hair. It's very in-depth and it's actually super fun to take. With their algorithm and over 50 billion formula combinations, Prose determines a unique blend of ingredients to treat your exact concerns. Prose also has a review and refine feature. It lets us tweak our formulas for any reason like change of address, hair color, or diet. If you're not 100% positive Prose is the best hair care you've had, they will take the products back, no questions asked. They get back to you really quickly. I had to actually email someone about the ingredients in it because I bought it for my daughter and she has allergies, and they got right back to me. They have excellent customer service. Prose is the healthy hair regimen with your name all over it. Take your free in-depth hair quiz and get 15% off your first order today. Go to prose.com/reps. That's prose.com/reps for your free in-depth hair quiz and 15% off.
So then you get there,
Yep.
and is it like one of these things where is your family waiting for you?
No, so
or-
yeah, that's a good question. So
Yeah.
the end of these swims, no one is there. You know,
We'll be there next time.
I know.
No, but what I'm saying is like at
Yeah.
the end of Lake Tahoe, my mom and my grandma were there because it's Tahoe, it's close.
Right.
And I think one person on the beach was like, "What did you just do?"
I know, that's what I was.
You know, and
That's what I mean. It's not like you're doing it for the glory,
No,
obviously,
no.
because you're just. That was it.
Yeah, it's
All right.
so
Yeah.
anticlimactic. You know,
Yeah.
the end of the English Channel, the end of the North Channel, I touch a rock and I get back on the boat.
Right.
I go home and I take a nap. And that's
Right.
it. You know, and maybe a few hundred people find out that are my friends and congratulate me, and that's it. And I go on with my life. And this swim, for some reason, is blown up. And I had like 2 news crews on the beach. There were passerbys.
way.
There were people who drove down from Santa Cruz. Like, you know, and I'm getting out of the water. I'm like, I look terrible. Like
Right,
my
you're
lips
exhausted,
are swollen,
right.
my eyes are swollen, my cap's falling off. I have the sunscreen everywhere. And I'm like, cool, everyone's here to see this. Like,
And you're like, this is the one you
Now
chose?
you
yeah, right. It's like, this is
Yeah.
the one. My eyes are closed.
Yeah, I know.
I think there was another one that was worse.
What a
like,
great
you're not
photo op.
posting that.
Dude, there's
my
been,
gosh.
I've seen so many
Yeah.
bad photos of myself.
You know, you can't. What are you going to do
You
about
can't
it?
do
No,
anything
this is
about
what
it.
we do. This is
Yeah.
what I do. I go,
Well,
well,
that's what I look
that's
like.
what I look like.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not lying.
No, it's like, man, well, everyone else definitely looks shitty sometimes too.
Totally.
So.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, I also just swim 25 miles, so
You deserve
probably
to look
not
like
gonna
shit.
look very good.
Hey, you deserve to look like shit.
Dude, if you looked great,
yeah.
people
then
would be like,
people
you're a
would hate
liar.
you.
Yeah, prove
you
it.
didn't try hard enough.
Oh, you win at nighttime? Oh, yeah, I bet you did. Oh, you did because of the wind, not because you actually just, didn't do it.
Right.
You look too good to have swam 25 miles through thousands of jellyfish.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Man,
That is
that's
so crazy.
incredible.
So then you're probably exhausted. So are you like, are people like wanting like interviews and all this
Yeah.
stuff? So you're just like, can I please just
Yeah. So
sit down or?
I had like one news channel. He was like, hey, I'm sitting on the beach and he's like, come up. He came up to me. He's like, hey, can we do an interview? And I was like, I'm tired. Like, and my paddle, one of my crew members was like, can you give her a few minutes? And, he still got one before I went in the shower. So I'm like standing there huddled in a towel. And then, another news crew came by after, but luckily I'd like put a hat on and taken a shower. So it looked a little better, really not much better,
Right.
but I had some clothes on.
I felt a little bit better.
Yeah. And then, I took a nap and I just wanted to be home.
Yeah.
So my mom, we took a nap at my friend's house and then drove back to mine. And then my mom passed out for like 3 hours because she was actually on the boat with me.
Oh, okay.
And
nice.
I've never invited family or friends on the boat. I think it's not something family or friends should be on. But I was like, you know what? I think this could be cool for my mom to be a part of.
Yeah.
I told her, it's like, you're not in charge of me. So just be here,
Yeah,
enjoy
don't
the
boss me
moment.
around while I'm in the water.
Like you can take care of Ricardo
Right.
and we'll do that. And I was like, you do social media. So she was so cute. She's like trying to figure out Instagram Live.
Oh.
But, like you need your reading glasses. So
Totally.
all the
Oh, yeah.
pictures are like kind of blurry.
Totally.
She
Yes.
stayed up the
I
whole
identify
night.
with that.
She stayed up the whole night. She couldn't have done any better. So I was so proud of her. And like, it was kind of cool to get to like share that moment with her.
I was
And-
going to say,
Yeah.
because I mean, as a mom, if my kids are doing these amazing
Yeah.
things, I would want to, it's different than when they're in school and you're at a meet cheering them on or something, it's like, I would rather share that with them and watch them do it.
I think it's cool because like she knows I do this and I obviously talk a lot to her about like the before and the after, but for her to actually see it firsthand, I think she got a very different view into it. I mean, she knows I'm tough, like I'm her daughter,
Right.
but I think just being able to see what it takes,
Right.
it's like, so I don't know. I was proud of her.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure she's proud of you. Very cool.
I definitely know the conversation with the mom, especially if you have come from like a competitive family, like people with like sport background, not just you. I've had that too, where it's like, all right, you're not my coach. Okay. You're only here to love me. Also, don't get upset if I like tell you to shut up.
Yeah.
My mom's like, yeah, got it. And then in the middle, usually when I've been competing or things like that, you like tune it. You can't like tune everyone out.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's funny about my mom is I'm actually like kind of the black sheep of my family and that I'm like the only athletic person.
Oh,
Really? Like my
Really?
family, like my grandma like loves they like doing stuff.
Yeah.
But really, I hope they don't listen to this. But like I love them all.
No, of
but
course you do.
they definitely like they love cooking and like the arts
Sure.
and things. And I'm like, I'm gonna go backcountry ski down this like 7
I
foot
do
wide
think
cliff.
that you are a severe version of being athletic.
Yeah, but like they're not
Right.
So
if they
for
aren't
her-
at all, then it would seem very extreme.
It's very odd. Yeah.
Right.
So they're like, you're going to kill yourself one day. But they, my mom, she's so hands off in my swimming. She actually doesn't really know anything about swimming times. She's like, I don't know. I just know if you do a good job, if you had a smile on your face at the end. And that was it. Like that was her,
Well, then that would make it even that much cooler for her to come and be a part of that with you.
Totally. So she was totally hands off. I mean, she was like at one point like, go, go, go. And I was like, you get in and do this.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Exactly.
seriously.
Because it was like at the
Exactly.
end and I
Yeah.
was so tired.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
am going.
I'm going as
I've
fast
been
as I
going
can.
for hours.
Dude, it's like when we talk about like in a CrossFit competition when someone's like, you're on a team and they're like, all right, now you got to turn it on. And you're like, what the fuck do you think I've been doing? It's on, man.
Yeah. You're like,
Well,
oh yeah,
yeah,
I was
on.
just taking it easy.
Yeah, it's been on.
Or it's like,
I do
now-
the same thing.
Now it's time to go. And you're like, what?
I've been going.
What have I been doing this whole
This
time?
was my max.
Oh
if
my
anything,
God.
I'm going to
Yeah.
go slower now.
We've like joked you know, with like team competitions or coaches, or like when you're competing, and like those are the things that people say.
Oh,
But you know what's funny
like a
about
trigger.
that? They say that and it is triggering, but you find another level every time.
Oh, no.
You can.
Like I'm
Yeah.
swimming. I'm 2 miles away
yeah.
and I pick it up.
Oh, for
Right.
sure.
I'm 2 miles out from a 25-mile swim and somehow I have another gear because they're telling me to go faster and
Dude,
I'm
but it's
getting mad at them.
Some people have that though. Some
I think
people
it's
have.
it's a yeah.
Some people, because that's what I have. I remember I was training with my running coach, and you know, we got to a point where it was like, I'm not going to be, I'm not like a long distance runner. And so he worked with a lot of different games athletes, and we were all friends, but we started changing the way of like what we were working on for me. And basically we started working on just my finishing kick, because I had that like in running, in training. Like, you need to be doing something to a point where you're so exhausted. And like for someone like you, like 25 miles, like you're going to be tired even if you're not swimming at 100%, right, of your ability the whole time. Because just time under tension, swimming in that cold of water, for you to be able to, one, it's not like you were ever holding back so you could do that at the end. It's just you just have it's a desire and a fire and like a mental switch that some people have. It's a crazy switch, and not everyone.
Some people don't.
Not everyone does.
No, it is a
people
crazy switch. I mean, everything's burning in your body and you're like, you want me to go faster? And I don't
You almost like want it to hurt more. You're like,
kind of,
fine.
yeah. You're like, all right, how much more can this hurt?
No,
but
for real.
That's also how I train. You know, a lot of marathon swimmers train where they're like, I'm just going to go 5 miles today, you know, and 5 miles could take 4 hours for them to swim, you know, where for me, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to do 5 miles, but I'm going to go as fast as I can because I want to be the most tired I can possibly be at the end of this training swim. So I try to get out of the water every time I do a big training swim, feeling
Exhausted.
like the end of what a 25 mile
Right.
would swim would feel like,
Right.
you know?
I mean, I'm
so-
saying that
no,
I understand.
yeah,
She doesn't
I don't.
same.
I have
Same.
no idea what that feels like at all.
you know,
I've
it's
seen
like-
her do that before,
but
but
that's
there is
what
a certain
training-
mentality.
Yeah.
But I think there's more than. I think it's more than just training. You have to have a certain mentality.
yeah.
Because even people have watched Brooke work out. When she gets to a certain point, they say it looks like a shark's eyes that roll in the back of its head. Right?
Yeah, I've been told that from different
It's
people.
like,
the fact when
and you see it in
when
certain-
Colby told me that, I was like, did I tell you that?
Yeah.
And I didn't. I think the first
you
person.
see a certain determination in people. You know, it's this flight or fight response. Is what I would call it. I'm definitely flight 100%.
I know, but I'll fight for you.
I know, thanks. But I think that, it's definitely a personality type.
Yeah,
For
and
sure.
It's about like, you know, whether you're working out, swimming, whatever, running, you know, it's about, I think you have to be fully present for that to happen. You know, you can't be thinking about like, oh, how tired am I going to be at the end of this? Or how hard was the first hour of this? You know, I'm so present. That's why I don't think about anything.
Right.
Because I'm present in that exact
And
moment.
that's why I asked you the question,
Yeah.
because all I would be thinking the whole
Right.
time is,
Oh my God, this is so hard. How much
Yeah.
longer do I have to do
But
this? Like,
no, you can't, because then
Yeah.
your brain power is being diverted to I'm so tired, you know, and like your brain energy is part of your whole body energy. So it's
Right.
like managing that of if you can shut your brain off and just let your muscles do the work and go into that shark mode, you know, that's what
I
it is.
guarantee it's the same for you as
Yeah.
like what she's
Yeah.
saying, like what's been described. Because it's like it's a feeling, and I know, and it's like I know when it's happening, but it's people that have watched me compete that they're like they're the ones that have described it that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
I think Adi was the first person who described it. She goes, "You remind me of a shark when they flip their eyes back before they're going to strike," and it's and it wouldn't
you're just
be-
imagining her with like no eyeballs. All of a sudden Brooke's like,
and it wouldn't it's not so much, I mean, okay, like I enjoy riding, I enjoy cycling. That's like the one thing that I can go for hours and I'm doing the same thing, but my scenery's changing.
Yep.
You know, but it's still, it's like in here too, like the
it's gorgeous
climbs
here,
and
yeah.
the climbs though can be so gnarly, but it's extremely rewarding. And there's always some portion of downhill where you can like recover fast, and
it's
you
so
know,
fun.
training your body to recover fast too. But like swimming and in the dark, right? obviously you didn't just all of a sudden wake up and you're at this point, right? You swam for years. You've been competitive. You've dealt with mindset. You've done all these things. You've done the open water. You've got to this point. And I can imagine that anyone trying to understand what it would take with that to like be self-aware for 12 hours it'd be a fight of not boredom, but allowing yourself to probably focus on some of the things too long. Like if you let yourself focus on your shoulder hurting too long, you might slow down or, I know I would for sure.
Right.
Like you would try to just like, I'd probably just like focus on like my breathing. I probably would count my strokes or something that can be super monotonous, but that's one thing that would be hard for me. Like you saying, just jumping in and like, the first 4 hours I just got it done. I was like,
I know, exactly.
4 hours?
Yeah, exactly.
But no, but it's mental. I mean, the like endurance sports, I personally think are more mental than physical. Like,
oh yeah.
I think if you wanted to go swim 21 miles, you could physically do the 21 miles. It's like getting your mindset right of like, I want to do this for one, like something you want to do.
Right.
And then getting your mindset of like, okay, it's 21 hours where I'm not looking at anything really, because you're not running, you're not biking, you're just looking at the water. And then getting through the dark and the night, because most of these swims are done at night. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of brain training, but like in my life, these swims aren't the hardest thing I've gone through. Like I haven't had the easiest like childhood, and there's been a lot of things. So it's like those things are helpful to fall back on of, okay, this swim is hard, but let me start listing out all the harder things I've gone through. And then the swim's not very hard.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I think another huge part of why I keep doing them is like, I'm a very different person out of the water. Like I'd like to be goofy and go and have a drink with my friends, and I like to play outside. And like when I'm in the swim, it's like this hyper focused athlete person. But it's like these 12 hours that I get to like be that and to be present. So it's like, I kind of start craving that. I'm like, I want that again. Like I want to feel that again. And maybe it's with you, like competing, you're like, I want that again. Like I want to feel that intense and that present in the moment. I don't know why, like you keep doing something.
But you obviously like it.
Yeah, I do like it.
You like it.
Yeah.
It's feeding something.
But it's
in
not
you.
like the most fun thing to be doing.
Right.
No, but neither is like I talk about
But
the
it's
cross.
gratifying.
Yeah, it is
there's
gratifying,
there's a level of gratification
Yeah.
that you're getting from it.
Yeah.
I think at a certain point, obviously you would understand at a certain point, I could speak for myself. I crave the uncomfortable training.
Yeah.
Like I crave the pain.
Yeah.
And it's like, I remember when I was at the CrossFit Games and I'm sitting out there in the middle of Murph and I'm in the middle of the push-ups and I was just suffering. I mean, that morning we did the pier paddle.
Wow.
And then we had Murph the next day and it was in the heat of the whatever. I was in the middle of the push-ups. Do you know what Murph is?
Yeah.
Okay. And if you guys don't know what Murph is, it's a mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, a mile run, and you're wearing a 14-pound weight vest for women, 20-pound for men. Right, Eric? 20-pound? And I just remember sitting there and I was taking a break during my push-ups, and I'm looking around and reminding myself like to enjoy this because one, it's totally amazing that I'm even here. Two, I'm sitting there and I started laughing, like audibly. I'm laughing and I go, I fucking wanted this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm dying. Like this is so painful and I wanted this and I'm here because I wanted this. And you just keep digging in. You just keep digging in. And it's even the mindset of someone who, is going to do open water swimming or creating a mindset for CrossFit or creating a mindset for, jiu-jitsu or anything that is like has a real mental side. You don't just all of a sudden have it. You have to build it, and it's just a little at a time, and over time you become a little crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's you got to train your body, you got to train your mind, but how freaking cool is it to be able to test yourself to see how tough you are mentally and physically? And then once you do that one test, it's like, okay, well, this is how tough I am mentally and physically. Well, how much tougher am I? So now for me, I'm like, oh my gosh, what's next? Like, what's the next big thing I can do to see, like, am I even tougher than this?
Right.
So,
And all I can think of right now is my mom brain is going in. I'm going, well, don't try to do too much.
Dude, you could
get hurt.
My first thought was I wanted to look at you and be like, Should we test how tough you are? How can we push your limit?
No.
No, I totally get it. And I think it's, it's unless you can directly relate to that feeling, it can be hard for people to understand the desire for that, because the point you have to push your body, your mind, your, everything to like, just to, especially as you get better. Like I used to say, I really didn't love, my favorite moment in a workout, whether it was, usually like a Metcon or something like that, but I hated the beginning. It's just full of adrenaline, but my favorite thing is like the moment you work so hard, you're so exhausted and you literally can't do much more and you still have work to do. But you get to a point where it's like, this is where you get better. And it's very clear because it's very simple. Mm-hmm. Like all of a sudden, it's so simple. You don't have all these options. You don't have all these questions you have to answer. Like literally all you have to do is like, don't stop moving.
Yeah.
And that's it. And if you do that at this point, this is when you get better. And what's so tough is like the amount of time and work that you have to do before you get to have that opportunity. Mm-hmm. And it's a really incredible thing.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what that moment is. Before you were here when she was pre-learning, we were talking about
pre-learning.
We were talking about a training session I did a few weeks ago in Santa Cruz because the fog was so bad up where I was. So I had to drive down here and I did 2.5 hours in the morning and then an hour and a half at night, Saturday and Sunday. So that's like, it ended up being like over 8 hours of swimming. Mm-hmm. And I just remember like, I was by myself, completely alone. No one knew I was doing this. So it was like me holding myself accountable to doing this. And there was this moment in, I think like my third training session where I was like, I want to get out. I'm tired. I want to get out. I'm really cold. Like I swam, 10 miles yesterday. I'm tired. And I stayed in and I like pushed through it and then went home, took a nap, got back in for that afternoon swim. And it felt amazing. Wow. Because I knew that I'd pushed through that turning point of like, I totally could have gotten out. Mm-hmm. I don't have a coach.
Right.
No one's telling me to marathon swim. Right. Like I'm telling myself to do it. I'm keeping myself in the water. And it was that moment of, wow, you did that. Like you just overcame that. I hear you.
No, yeah. Yeah. It's a moment where you have to think like, this is what it takes.
Yeah. Right.
And you have to like remind yourself.
Yeah.
I haven't had to think that in a while. Literally. Well, I mean, especially during like quarantine, because I'm not competing, but like through quarantine and like all the things have just been like, my question's gone from this is what it takes, like not a question, like statement, to like, why?
What am I doing?
Like what for?
Right, yeah.
Spending like for like 3 months. I don't think I got out of my pajamas.
I know.
I watched so much Netflix.
I know.
I'm just happy that life's getting back to like somewhat normal where, I can we can create a routine.
Yep.
And get back to training and then we can, can test your limit, Gina.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I can't wait.
Well, now
we should make it a beach workout.
Okay. I was just going to say, we're going to go swimming.
Yeah. You have to go swim to the end of the Santa Cruz Wharf.
Have you seen me swim?
I'll be right there.
Have you ever seen me swim?
No.
Exactly.
I know,
don't swim.
But you paddled.
I can swim. I can swim.
Oh, there you go. So you can go. You can make it to the wharf.
Okay, so first things first, we take her surfing.
Yeah.
First we take you surfing. We practice just the stroke.
I think you just want it for the entertainment.
No, absolutely not. You want to know why I want it? Because I love doing absolutely everything with you. And it's unfortunate for you because I like to do a lot of different shit.
I know. Okay. Just because you said it that way, I will try it.
Yeah, I know that.
I know.
I told Amy that on the phone. She was like, we need to get Gina out there. And I said, well, I will say she's not going to want to. But I will also say that more times than not, I am the person who can convince her to try something new.
I mean, what's the worst that happens? You don't like it?
Oh,
whatever.
A lot of times she's like,
you can't ask me that because where my brain goes is what is the worst thing that can happen?
What's the worst realistic thing that could happen?
Like I know it's a sickness, but
she's like, actually I've taken some notes.
I've actually already have 3 different scenarios in my brain. It happens that quickly.
1, I get raped by a dolphin. 2,
And in my brain, all I can think of is, I could see that happening to me.
Yeah. And then
like
all
a sea otter
and then
or
all of a
something.
sudden, like I'm pressed down to the bottom of the ocean, and Brooke doesn't know where I went, and it's like she can't see through the water, so I start running out of air, and then
I
finally,
get trapped by a rock.
and then all of a sudden, the dolphin leaves, gets what it wants, but my foot's stuck between two rocks. I keep going for days. Yeah, I know how your brain works.
I know. It's so sick. It's got a sickness. I need like some positivity. Like I need I don't know, like an IV or something. Or like a, what do they call that?
I sell those.
Oh,
they go in your arm.
Do you have a positivity IV?
You have
I need a positivity IV.
You guys,
That's called
this
drugs.
episode is brought to you by Positivity IV.
IV. I do need one of those. All right. Well.
Okay, a couple more questions.
Oh no.
Just like two more.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna say we're over.
Well,
I
technically,
know. I'm the time. I'm the time.
all right.
I'm the time police.
Hall monitor
I know.
over here.
Okay, go.
The hall police.
I know.
Hall police over here. What do you do for work?
I'm in medical device sales. I work for.
See, that's very important. I like that.
Positivity ID.
Yeah.
IV.
IV catheter.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing that?
I've been in med device sales for a little over 3 years.
And do you love
years.
it?
I like it. Yeah, I love my.
Like it. I like it. As the word love came out of my mouth,
Yeah.
I then thought like it's
That might have
a
been too much.
regular job. She probably likes it or enjoys it.
I will say I love my team. I love my team. I love my manager. I wouldn't change them for the world. I actually don't ever want to get a different job because I don't want to leave them.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So day to day. Yeah. I mean,
So you're happy in your job.
I'm super.
good.
I'm happy
Yeah.
in my job. Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you haven't done yet? Maybe things that aren't swimming, right? That you are interested in either trying or spending more time doing. You did say you surf.
Yeah, so I surf and I ski. So I'm a big backcountry skier. Last year I got in, I think 50 days or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, I love skiing. I love skiing.
Yes, you do.
I would really like to try an ultra marathon run. Actually, I think it's really out of my comfort zone to be on land.
Yeah.
And I just kind of want to see how tough am I?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'd be fun. I know I can do the distance. I just walk,
Yeah.
No,
when
you would run
when
it.
in doubt,
Walk.
She would
Walk.
walk.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's probably it.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I imagine Catherine, everybody's running and she's just on the ground.
I'm gonna catch you.
No, it's like they're running alongside of
lake.
like a lake, and she's like,
This is probably faster to swim.
yeah, she's like, on the other side, and she just takes first. Dude, yeah,
Well,
that's awesome. I mean, for one, I think it's really cool that you're still pursuing a new not sport, but like a form of swimming,
A new avenue.
a new avenue from what you did so competitively. And it is, even though I think it's so beautiful that it's so competitive and it's for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and it's you can gain recognition for these feats that are unfathomable for
Incredible.
most people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time too, it just, there's something how I feel about, I think there's something about people who are doing it for a reason that has nothing to do with
The fame and the
gratification.
glory and
that is
yeah.
just, it's very commendable. And
Yeah.
I think it's very cool.
Thank you.
And
It's very cool.
I don't think that I will ever swim a mile,
Right.
but I will if we went swimming. I'm down to swim. I swim on the swim team.
Let's go swimming.
I think the furthest distance I've ever swam is a mile.
Only if Gina comes.
Okay, this is the
Oh,
best
she'll be
part.
there.
You're like, I used to be on the swim team. Then we got this freaking, gold medalist, all this other stuff. And they're like, Gina, come swimming with us. And I'm like, nah.
No. Listen, I swam on the swim team when I was very little. That's not even comparable or even something. I should say this. I know the strokes. Okay, I swam. That's one thing.
Okay.
Learned those,
Cool.
and then two, I was a water baby, so I'm comfortable in water. But there is no me being like, what? It reminds me of every person ever that's like, back in my day.
Oh
Yeah,
God,
totally.
the high school football player.
Yeah. Back in my day. Yeah. Brooke's like, yeah, I used to swim on the swim team.
Yeah, I was on the swim team.
How old
They're
were you?
like-
I was 6.
Everyone's like, hey, Brooke, how about you don't need to try and just have a have something relatable to your guest. I read this thing on Instagram the other day, and it was normalizing. It was something about like just when someone's talking about something, not saying something that could like relate to what they're saying. Just let them talk. And I was like,
I do that all the time.
I do that, and I hear it all the time. And I hear and like recognize when people are doing it. And I'm like,
yeah, never mind.
But no, I'm comfortable in the water. I really enjoy the water. I really enjoy swimming. Yeah. And it'd be really fun to swim with you.
It would be fun.
It'd be so
you guys will be
great.
You're
gonna be great.
You both.
Okay. We'll see about that.
We will have a great time. Yep.
Okay.
We will.
Yep.
Also though, she likes to surf, and I'm now a surfer. So
right.
And we're gonna take you surfing. So that technically could be the first form of swimming for you in a very mellow area, which Cowles was the first place Colby took me. And I've surfed in San Diego and in Hawaii, and Cowles was the first place. I'm just saying, like,
you just did it again.
No, I'm just saying, like, I've been to places that have rocked me. I'm a total novice. I am incredibly beginner.
Okay.
I'm saying he took me to Cowles.
Okay.
Because it's not super aggressive, and it was the first time I actually was able to learn without being like punished.
Right. Okay, I'll try.
That's where
I said I'd try.
He'll take
I said I'd try. I'll try.
I knew it.
All right.
Just like when I had you try oysters.
Okay. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
More
that to
than
me.
once.
Yes. Didn't enjoy it,
but she did it.
But I did it.
And then there's times where I try something and I look at you and I'm like thinking I want you to try it, but then
you'll know.
Really pay attention to like either the texture or the taste, and I go,
just go, nah.
Yeah. I'm like, because I don't ever want there to be a point that you're like,
I won't trust you anymore.
I don't trust you.
I know, exactly.
So if I know you won't like it, I'm like, no.
No.
I won't make you do it.
You're a good friend. All right.
Man, you're
this
so
was cool,
great.
Catherine.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
You're a cool chick.
Oh, thanks.
Are you
guys
guys
cool things.
Are you driving
thanks.
home? Or are you going to Monterey? You're going spearfishing tomorrow.
So I'm actually moved spearfishing to next weekend.
Okay.
I'm gonna go grab a drink with a friend in Scotts Valley, actually.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I feel like I earned a beer.
Dude, you definitely earned a beer.
Absolutely.
Maybe a couple.
Maybe a 12 pack.
Honestly, you can't.
If you weren't driving,
You can't just have one. It's like if I'm gonna only have. When I was training and competing all the time, I rarely drank.
Yeah, I know. I don't either.
I really never did, ever.
I know you didn't.
And a big thing too is like I could account for the calories and whatever we were going to drink through my food through the day, but I was so hungry and I was training so much that my metabolism was so high. I'd come over and I'd just be like, not worth it. Like I'm not. If I'm going to drink, I'm going to have a few. Like I'm going to get to the point that I want of like, potentially towing the line of no return.
I want to get obliterated.
Yeah. And so I never did. And now I've really, I've learned how to enjoy a couple.
Yep. We've done that.
Daily?
More than that. Yeah.
Daily.
Not daily.
No, but during quarantine, it was pretty, during fires.
More than normal. Sure.
We were drunk for 11 days.
we were drunk for 11 days.
I mean, and in our defense, she thought her home was going to burn up in a fire. And
so
we were stuck in this house
Yeah.
and didn't have anywhere to go.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It's tough.
So when in doubt, we just drank and watched Netflix.
That's the message of the show.
That's the message of the show, guys. Forget about all this inspiration. Forget about going for your goals.
Just drink.
Just when in doubt, drink. Kidding. All right. Well, anyway, thank you, Catherine. How can people find you?
Yes.
So I have an Instagram Beyond the Black Line with an underscore. It's like the black line of a pool.
Underscore at the end or at the beginning?
At the end.
Okay.
But I also have a website and my Instagram's on there. So it's just www.beyondtheblackline.com.
Very cool.
Yeah. I mean, my name, you'll find it from there.
Yeah. Awesome. Well,
I
great having you.
I would love to have you back on.
Oh, thanks. Maybe after I do something else.
Well, I really would love to have you talk about what it was like to be on the USA team.
Oh yeah.
And just swimming when you were
I wasn't on the Olympic team.
No,
just
but like
the national team.
But the national team.
Yeah.
But in general, just like what the
Yeah.
world, what your life was like back then too.
Yeah.
It's very
Very
cool.
cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you guys.
Congratulations
Thanks.
on everything.
Thanks.
Yeah. So anyway,
Remember to
rate, review, subscribe,
5-star rating, 5-star warning,
and we'll talk to you guys next week.
I love that we're 15 minutes over and you're like so antsy. You're pissed. Every time I say one more thing to Catherine, you're like, I can see it. I can like see it in your wrinkles.
I know, because I have to pee. I have to pee really bad, right? I know, and it's like every time I think we're wrapping up, Brooke goes, okay, so anyway,
I'm really interested.
Okay, so now we're really going. All right,
All right.
because we have to pee.
Go pee.
We all have to pee. Bye.